Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 2 in IPE 520. The module is entitled Introduction to Academic Writing, Graduate Discourse and Inquiry, Elevating Academic Tone of Writing. I hope your classes are all going well. I hope if this is your first semester in the program that the pieces of your life are falling perfectly so that you can start the semester strong. If you've been in the program for a while, I hope you are equally as prepared and ready to start on a strong note for the semester. It's not lost on me, as I've mentioned in other videos, that starting a graduate course in writing and research is daunting. If you're apprehensive in the slightest about academic writing or being a strong, credible researcher, if you feel you are faulty in any facet of the competencies that you need for those two different roles as a graduate researcher, it's okay. I'm going to be here to help you. This module is also going to give you some remedial type of materials to help if you feel like you could brush up on some of the skills since undergrad. So more on that in just a moment. As an administrative item, I just want everyone to know that this particular module is going to last a little bit more than a week. It's probably going to be a week and a half to 2 weeks. There's 2 assignments. The reason that I want this module to be a little bit more, to allow more time for you all, is because there's a lot of video content involved, and I want you all to be able to soak that content in, to be able to listen to it, to circle back to it, take notes as needed, so that you feel confident moving forward before you start really getting into the bread and butter of drafting your own content. So in the future, the intent is that you'll see a module every week or so. Once we hit the midpoint of the semester, the online modules will taper off a little bit. They will become more and more infrequent as you will become more and more engaged and involved working one-on-one with me in our consultation, research, and writing sessions. So just kind of keep that in mind as we go through. We're going to get through these modules on a week-by-week basis, and then once we hit the midpoint of the semester, then you will have your research ideas ironed out, you'll have your research proposal done, and then we will be working together as we get through the rest of your own specific research content. This particular module is split into 2 sections. There is an introduction section here. One moment, let me preface this module here, checklist. I put this here just in the event that it's helpful. If you're an archaic kind of person like myself, print things out, or you would like to check everything off, there it is. It's in the document if that helps you. If not, disregard. The introductory video, of course, that you're watching now. The module content is split into 2 sections. There's course preparation and software downloads. This section here you can think of as the prerequisite course content. The first video that you see here is downloading the fully licensed version of Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office Suite. This is the most important as it pertains to drafting your own content moving forward. You will not use a Microsoft Word that is in your browser. So you're not going to use Microsoft 365 in your browser, in Safari, in Chrome, in Explorer, whatever browser you use. You're not going to be typing your content in browser. Alternatively, you're going to be using the fully licensed version of Word as its own application on your device. And this video walks you through how you can download that for free. You get the whole Microsoft Office suite for free by virtue of being a student at Wingate. It's usually pretty expensive to get the full suite, so I usually tell students to go ahead and download the full thing, including Excel. But there's some other software platforms there that you might find useful. That's the first thing. Everything you will draft in this course will be in that particular application, not in your browser. So make sure you start with this. If you have any technological type issues, let me know. The second part of part 1 of the module is a set of remedial classes, video lectures. You can think of them as English 101 and 102 if it's been a while since you've had an introductory English class. You can also think of this as a junior, senior level intro to research as an inquiry process. So if you feel like you're a bad writer, you know nothing about APA, you do not know anything about the research process in terms of prescriptive steps, where do I start, where do I finish, these videos are for you. So they're all YouTube videos. You can watch them, or excuse me, rather listen to them as you're doing other things in life, driving, if you have a long commute, whatever the case may be, you can listen to them and then circle back to them to take notes. The intent is that you will be able to tap into these videos throughout the semester just to help you become a more well-rounded writer, researcher. But this you can technically conceptualize as the minimum skills you need to be able to move forward in terms of this class. So I want everyone to be able to take the time to go through these. Even if you think you're an excellent writer and researcher, I would really encourage you to watch these videos. It's amazing sometimes what you don't know, which may help you later. So that's part one of the module. Module content page 2 is the first real theoretical basis of graduate inquiry and research writing that you're going to see in the course. So you can think of this as if you were sitting in your in-person class during your first week. This is the content you would see. It's a lecture video split into 4 sections. There are other 4 videos here from the Purdue Writing Lab, OWL. I'm sure some of you may have heard of it. If you haven't, it's fine. Writing as a conversation, writing as a process, as a social endeavor, and as a discipline-specific endeavor. There's also another video here a colleague from McMaster University sent me that's a really good video at distinguishing the differences in writing, academic writing at the undergrad versus grad level. And there's a section within that pertains very specifically to what we're going to do as an outcome of this course, which is a literature review. So the goal is to review all of this. This particular page, this particular page is one that you're going to want to make sure as you're watching videos that you take notes on, as there's going to be a quiz at the end of the module. So just make sure you review these in depth, every single one of them. You do not have to worry about any quiz content on the first section. This is all more remedial or becoming prepared for the course. The quiz content will be purely on the page 2. So just want to preface that. There is another document here that I want you all to lay eyes on early on. Print this out, save it, put it in your G Drive, wherever you can keep it conveniently at hand. This is the list of non-negotiables, if you will, for the writing in your course moving forward. And so these are the things you're going to want to start actively including. Don't worry, we're going to start working on this throughout the semester if it seems impossible at first glance. But certain things that I see a lot with incoming undergrad students using waste words, such as just, get, got, gotten, getting, any variant of got, you, really, a lot, etc. No personal pronouns or words, me, you, us, we, I, our, your, my, mine. Striving to use more impactful words, vocabulary, academically robust vocabulary and transitions, having everything in the correct format, not using any contractions whatsoever, spelling out every word, not starting sentences with this or that. I will break these down in module content to come to show why we don't do these things, but to start, use this as your guidepost. It may seem impossible now, but by the end of the course, your final literature review you'll be able to tick off every box in that document just by virtue of practice. There are 2 assignments in this module. There is a quiz, which is the very last item. However, there is a written assignment, my research interest and analysis of my research domain. It's due on Friday, 9/6 by 11:59 Eastern. This particular assignment is going to ask you a few questions that you can see here about what you think you might want to research or hone in on for this particular course as your primary research domain. So right now, don't worry if you don't know the answers. Try your best to answer them in as much detail as you can, utilizing what you know and the experience and skills that you brought to the program. I will be providing some specific feedback on this. So that's due Friday the 6th. And as I mentioned before, there is a quiz here. I'm not going to click on it. I just made the mistake of clicking on that. And it would bring up the teacher version. I don't want you all to see that, and I do not feel like navigating up to the student view. So in short, all you have to focus on for this quiz that's due Sunday the 8th. So again, you've got some time on that. Ignore this here. This is going to be updated to the 8th. Originally, I wanted both things to be due on the 6th, but I wanted you to have more time for the quiz. So it's going to be 9/8 that's due. Make sure you focus on this section here for that quiz. Only the first theoretical base of graduate course content for that. Make sure that you understand and take notes of all the videos that you see there. You're going to be required to employ the knowledge from those videos to sufficiently answer questions in this particular quiz. An administrative note regarding the quiz is it requires Respondus and Web Monitor. So it's a web proctoring service, if you will. It's going to watch your face while you're taking the quiz. It's going to record your browser and your screen to make sure that there are no other illicit activities happening. So just make sure that you're prepared for that quiz. There are a few preliminary steps, setup steps, if you will, to prepare for the Respondus quiz. So make sure you start early. Do not try to take the quiz at 11 o'clock. Start early, go through the steps. I will be available if you run into any issues, but definitely do not put this off to the last minute. It's my biggest advice for this. I think that's all I have. So as long as you review the videos, you take the quiz, you submit your analysis of your initial research domain, I will provide you feedback. I'm also going to be providing you an initial, an initial writing packet back to you. So I'm going to take your diagnostic writing assignment and I'm going to give you your assignment with edits. Everything I see, I'm going to point out. So just make sure that when you see the packet and when it's returned to you, it's going to take me some time to do this for all of you, but you're going to get your original document that's got edits of every single opportunity for growth in your writing and writing style. It does not mean you're a bad writer. Doesn't mean you're a terrible writer. It's just showing you everything you need to know to make you better. There's also going to be what's called a publisher report in that packet, which is going to give you a list of strategies for how to improve upon the errors that I'm seeing in your writing or the growth and opportunities for growth in your writing. So you're going to see those two documents coming back to you. Seems like a lot. Just breathe. I'm going to give you all plenty of time. September 8th will be the last day for this module. So if you have any questions or you need to speak, please reach out to me. And I hope you all find this to be useful information.